The one that does give and the one that does love, the one that really does need to detach from certain people, they don't really ask for much, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve the world. Just because you don't ask for much, just because you're a simple person, just because you're a person that really be just chilling out the way and don't like to be problematic, and you the simplest things make you happy, that doesn't mean that you don't deserve the world. Just because you're a natural giver and a natural lover and a person that likes to take care of other people, that doesn't mean you don't deserve to be
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Quite literally, Will Tidwell, a younger gentleman.
I wish I didn't have this big heart. People just do nothing but hurt me. Anybody can dream the dream. Anybody can have a goal, but see,
you're gonna be a neighborhood hero. You just keep shining, young king.
So if you do find, I won't say rare, but when you do find one of those people out here, they don't mind being open. They don't mind being genuine. They don't mind being vulnerable with you. They don't mind talking about their feelings. They don't mind sharing how they feel about you. They don't mind being human around you. I just hope you cherish it on a different level. Because the more you talk to people, the more you live, the more you interact, you're going to be able to see just how rare that really is. Because it's rare. It's rare. And so one of the first things I want you to do if you're listening to this and when you see this video is I want you to write down everything that you're passionate about. Everything that you do well. Everything that you enjoy. Perfect example. I love to speak. I love to write. I love to tell stories. I love to organize. I love to take mental pictures of things and put them on paper in a way that makes sense in the simplest ways. I love to communicate. I love children. I love serving. I love community. So how can I take these things that I love and monetize them? I love to write. I can become a ghostwriter. I love to write. I can take my words and I love to speak and I can speak them into a podcast. Money. Because you overstayed your welcome or you stayed too long in places with people that you were supposed to detach from a long time ago. So yes, I know detaching yourself from that person that you've been loving since day one, or walking away from that situation that you thought would always be in your life, or walking away from that scenario where you never saw yourself walking away from. I get it. It's going to be hard. I know how much you love them. I know how much you care about them. I know you guys have been through some stuff that nobody else will ever understand. But don't be so hell-bent on what you've been through and what you guys have endured or what you guys have fought through or all the things that you had to endure with that person. Let that be the only reason that you stay. Because attaching yourself from them or that thing or that person or that situation, it may hurt. But staying too long is going to hurt you just. Do you ever notice that it's usually the ones who give the last who don't ask for very much at all? Have you ever noticed that? Like it's usually the one that makes sure everybody else is okay, that makes sure you're taken care of, the one that depletes their bank account, the one that makes sure everybody else eats first, the one that makes sure that everybody else is warm and comfortable and taken care of, the one that give you their last. They never ask for very much. And I think that's why when the person that does give you their last finally does get something from somebody or somebody is kind enough to think of them, that's why they're so appreciative. Because the one with the big heart, man, they just go through their whole life, never really even expecting anything, never really asking for anything, never really even hoping for anything. Because for them, it feels so good just to be able to take care of other people because they love doing that and they love the people that they're doing it for just that much. But when somebody finally does think of them, a person with a big heart or a person that gives a lot or a person that's willing to give their last, they don't go expecting other people to do the things that they do because they understand how rare they are in this world. But when somebody finally takes a second and decides to give to the giver, then the giver starts to appreciate that on a whole nother level. Because it's kind of like, you didn't have to do this for me. And it's almost hard for them to accept being given something or being helped or being given a hand because they never had my opinion. This is to this first point. I said that detachment hurts, but staying attached too long can hurt just as much. And now the question you're probably asking is, why is it that staying attached too long can hurt us just as much? Because when you got to tell that person that you love goodbye, when you tell them that you can no longer be in their life, when you finally build up enough courage to walk away from that situation that you never saw yourself leaving, when you finally realize that you deserve better, if you stay attached to those people and those situations and those scenarios for too long, eventually what can happen is that all the beautiful things that were supposed to happen in your life, all the things that God had planned for you, all the blessings he had waiting on you, They might end up passing you by. Why it is that it's one thing in this life to discover your purpose and to figure out why it is that God put you on this earth, which is the purpose of life, is to find your purpose in life. I've said this 1,000 times. It's one thing to figure that out, but the moment that you truly start living, it's when you figure out how to turn that gift, that purpose, that calling into a skill that can take care of you for the rest of your life. Like when you're able to do that, that's when you know that you truly mastered life. That's when you know what true purpose feels like. And for a lot of people, I think that's what they struggle with, is understanding, how do I take what I'm passionate about? How do I take what I love? How do I take what brings me the most joy? How do I take that thing and turn it into something that can take care of me for the rest? And lastly, you start to appreciate genuineness when you realize how rare it is. Like when you finally come across those people who don't want to play mind games with you. They don't want to take your kindness for weakness. Like they appreciate your kindness. They don't want to have you overthinking and second guessing and wondering if you're good enough. They don't lack the communication that you so willingly give to them. Like when you get a taste of real, genuine love and care, you start to cherish it on a different level because you start to understand how rare it is these days. Because everybody is moving so weird. It's such a funny energy out here. Why? Because so many people have been hurt. They don't want to be hurt again, so they pretend to be heartless. Others have never been taught how to properly communicate, so they just rather not communicate at all. They rather shut down. Others rather hurt someone than be hurt, so they rather beat them to the thinking like that. That just because you have a big heart, or just because you're a giver, or just because you love to take care of other people, that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be taken care of. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be thought of every once in a while. That doesn't mean that somebody doesn't deserve to give you a kind gesture every once in a while. Like you deserve that too. If you want to understand what true purpose feels like, it's one thing to know what God put you here, but it's another thing to know how to turn what you love and what you're passionate about into a tangible skill that can help you eat for the rest of your life. If you can write, be a ghostwriter. Write content that you can actually speak or write to the world and get paid for. Turn it into a book. If you can speak, do a podcast. Do video content. Go be a speaker, even though that's, a watered down lane to me, but go be a speaker. You love the youth? Go create youth programming. Create you a daycare. But the disconnect for a lot of people is creating something that has enough demand. So no matter what your price is, people don't mind paying it because they need more of what you have to offer to where they're not even worried about the price.
Hey, what's up? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee. And I just want to take a quick second just to thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast. And my only goal with this platform is to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you around all things life, business, and mental health, whether it's myself or me bringing on a special guest. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. We don't ask for any type of monetary gains or anything like that. The best thing you could do for us is just like and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Peace.